Hi guys, this is Tablet-News.com and I'm here with the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite for a full review. This is basically the lighter version of the Galaxy Tab S6 and also sort of a spiritual successor to the Tab S5e. So we're dealing with a mid-range tablet with a bit of a price tag. It's around $400 to $500 and we have the 4G LTE version of it. Okay, so let's get straight to the goods. It's got a metal unibody design with these classic antenna cutouts at the bottom and the top side. Now the tablet is on the slim side, so it measures 7mm in thickness and weighs a decent 467 grams. It's very easy to grip and hold during long sessions of Netflix, maybe even some gaming, or of course a bit of work. Now, as you can see, we have the S Pen stylus attached to it right here via magnets, so it sticks to it like this magnetically, and I'm going to cover the S Pen later on. Okay, so design wise, you know the drill. You've seen Samsung tablets before, you've seen metal unibody devices before. It's comfy, it's well built, it's elegant and solid, and I love the smooth soft touch back. The colors available here are chiffon pink, angora blue and oxford gray. Now, as far as the screen is concerned, I have some bad news and I have some good news. The good news is the fact that indoors the screen is pretty crisp, but outdoors not so much. We're dealing with a TFT panel here, not a Super AMOLED, the 10.4 inch with a resolution of 2000 over 1200 pixels. The actual experience will be shown in a minute as we have our typical test video. Okay, so this is the test video. As you can see, the colors look okay, the brightness is decent, but once again, these are all indoors. Outdoors, the sun may get the best of it, the contrast is not the best, and also this device doesn't have the highest brightness I've seen. It's glossy, it has pretty modest viewing angles, even though once again, we're indoors right now, and I would also say it gets a bit yellowish towards the edges. That's something that I noticed. The pixel arrangement is of the RGB stripes variety, and we also did a bunch of tests and I'm going to show them to you right now. Now the brightness was a bit underwhelming. You can see here we achieved 296 lux units. Usually when we test phones on our sister site GSM.com, we usually use the landmark of 400 lux. We're way below that landmark. We're even below the Nexus 7 tablet from 2013, which had 508 lux units, as you can see here. So, bit of a disappointment screen wise. I definitely would have put a Super AMOLED here. Going even further, let's see what other specs we have. So the processor that makes this device tick, it's a Exynos 9611. If it sounds familiar, that's because you've probably seen it on the Samsung Galaxy A51. Not that great of a performer and not very far from the Exynos you saw last year on the Galaxy A50. We also get 4 gigs of RAM, 64 or 128 gigabytes of storage and a microSD card slot, with the good news being that this slot is dedicated, separated from the SIM slot. Now, there will be some lag. Now let me tell you when this lag appears. So first of all, it should appear when you first boot up the device, and a period after the boot up, you're going to experience some sluggishness. And also when you install apps and perform a lot of updates, there will be some sluggy behavior. So expect some lag. Gaming wise, if you really want to run Call of Duty Mobile, well, you run into problems, but if you run lower end games like Temple Run or Asphalt 8, you should be okay. There are some hiccups in games, that's definitely for sure. I won't insist too much on benchmarks because we don't test tablets too often, so we don't have many landmarks. It's suffice to say that in Antutu 7 we're below the Galaxy Tab S5e, and in most benchmarks we're actually below the Galaxy Tab S5e, which is definitely not an impressive thing. So there's that. And of course the iPads, the cheapest iPad from 2 years ago, definitely surpasses us in most benchmarks. Okay, so I think it's time to address the battery. Now, we're dealing here with a 7040 mAh unit, lithium polymer variety, which is supposed to have some sort of fast charge at 15 watts. Well, actually not that fast, as you're going to see in a minute. Okay, so we did some tests, and the first of them involves video playback. When we play some video on this device, which by the way is once again the LTE version of the Slate, 11 hours and 58 minutes of continuous HD video playback. This is actually not bad. You can see here some of the devices we surpassed: the iPad Air 2, Lenovo Yoga Tab 3 Pro, Galaxy Tab S2 9.7, and we stayed below the Galaxy Tab S5e, which beat us by about 3 hours almost, or better said 1 hour and 48 minutes. That's about it, so basically 2 hours. And we also stayed below the Galaxy Tab S6 by quite the margin. This is video playback once again. Continuous usage is pretty good at 8 hours and 41 minutes, definitely not a record. It beats the Lenovo Yoga Book with Android, but it stays below the Galaxy Tab S5e yet again. The charging was horrid. It took us 4 hours and 28 minutes to juice up the device. I'm wondering if I have a prototype. I've seen other reviews, not complaining so much about this aspect. Anyways, the charge is very long, but otherwise I'm pretty happy with the video playback and even the continuous usage. Now let's talk about the speakers. Okay, so in the purest Samsung tradition, we have dual stereo speakers with AKG tuning and Dolby Atmos. You can find one of the speakers here on this side, and you can also find the other one on this side, and luckily we also have an audio jack right here. To test up the speakers, we're going to use YouTube, and by the way, you also have YouTube Music pre-installed if that makes a difference for you and if that counts. I'm going to go look up some copyright-free music. And let's play this tune here. Here we go. Very punchy bass. Okay, so I'm very happy with the speaker experience. Actually, they have a solid bass, the device vibrates a bit, the high notes are well rendered, and we also have some deep voices in movie dialogue. So an all-around good experience. You can also go into the settings and tweak the experience a tad. So you should be able to go, let's see, sound, and you go to sound quality, and you got your Dolby Atmos, your equalizer, your UHQ upscaler, your 9 custom channels. So I'm pretty happy with what we achieved here. Now, we also did a bunch of other tests which involve a decibel meter, and as you can see here, we achieved 87.1 decibels at the bottom and 85.7 decibels at the top using a typical acoustic sample. And when I say top and bottom, I mean I'm holding the device like this in portrait. With these values, we were able to achieve, let's see, so we beat the iPad Air 2 and the iPad 9.7 2018, but we scored below the Galaxy Tab S5e. In gaming, things were actually, let's go back. In gaming, things were actually rock solid, and we got as high as 101.3 decibels. Let's check that out. So it's the highest result we've ever achieved on a tablet, and is mighty impressive, letting you see how powerful this device can be when it comes to the volume. Okay, so we're done with the speakers. I want to get back a bit to the performance. So the temperature was in check. We have 33 degrees Celsius in benchmarks, as you can see here. And when we played games, 31.8 degrees Celsius. So there is no overheating, but there's also not that huge of a performance. Camera-wise, I'm against people who use tablets for the camera because they're obstructing everybody's view at a concert, wedding, and so forth. Now, that being said, here we have a front 5 megapixel shooter for those weird selfies, and the main 8 megapixel shooter here. So 8 megapixel here, 5 megapixel here. Both can shoot full HD video for some unknown reason, and I even tried them out during the isolation and quarantine on the balcony. Don't expect huge and quality photos. There should be on par with the Galaxy A20e from last year, maybe the Galaxy A40 in the best situation. Some of them are overexposed and the camera may tend to catch a bit too much light, but the selfies are, I would say, decent, and if you're taking some bokehs, you probably will be happy with the result and the way your face is cut from the background. So that's about it. I would say decent for a tablet, but below the iPad offerings. And the Full HD video doesn't deserve to be shown, not that mind-blowing. On the connectivity front, we're getting an USB-C port here. It's 2.0, not 3.0, keep that in mind. We have the 4G LTE version of the slate, I'll say it again. There's Wi-Fi dual band, Bluetooth 5.0. There's also GPS, GLONASS, BDS, and Galileo. Also ANT+. You can make calls on this device. You can see here the item for calling. You can use this device for texts. And let me show you the results we achieved in our speed test. Okay, so you can see all the results here. I'm going to start with the 4G LTE test. We got as high as 64.9 megapensecond in download, not bad. 21.2 megapensecond in upload. I've seen higher, to be honest, on phones, but it's still pretty okay. Even better on Wi-Fi, 373 megapensecond download and 24.9 megapensecond upload. So all in all, it's okay connectivity-wise. I actually have no objections here. And here we are finally, the software. This is actually Android 10 with One UI 2.1 on top, this time on a tablet. Of course, we have this formerly known Bixby aggregator. It's now Samsung Daily, which aggregates your Flipboard, your GIFs, your Spotify, your games and app recommendations. For multitasking, you have this huge amount of cards, and you can actually tap here and split screen or open in a pop-up view, so you can actually have the window already split in two and add an extra layer of multitasking with the pop-up window, as you should. We do not have a DeX mode, sadly. I don't know why Samsung left that out. Truly sad. And we also don't have a fingerprint scanner anywhere here for security. We only have the face unlock, which is not that secure because everybody can mimic your face with a picture. The swipe down area involves the quick settings, which you can see here, and they're quite useful. They include novelty like screen recorder, music share, quick share, Dolby Atmos, Samsung Kids, also focus mode and dark mode, which is a staple of One UI, has been for about a year. Okay, if you pinch the screen, you should see the widgets, which are minimalistic as hell, and also all about the transparency and being all white and clean. We also have Bixby routines, and we also have gestures associated with the side key, and you can replace these navigation buttons with gestures of your own, swipe ones. Now, if you go into settings and want to go really in depth, you can see connectivity options, sound options, wallpaper, biometrics for some reason, advanced features related to your S Pen, with your pointer, air view, having it hover may trigger a preview, Bixby routines once again, reduced animations and nav bar. And also there's digital well-being somewhere in here and parental controls. Okay, I think we covered everything, and you can also use the edge bar for an extra layer of multitasking and windows. These are multi-window apps, which you can open like this and have even more if you want to. That's the idea. That's the split screen I mentioned before. Okay, so that's about it software-wise. I left the best for last. It's time to discuss the S Pen, the stylus, which is bundled and it's included in the price. Okay, so here we are. The S Pen looks very much like the one we used last year on the Tab S6, if I remember correctly. And let's activate it. You have a button on it. You're going to press it, and even press it twice if you want, and you should be able to interact with this set of options here. Okay, so the options are pretty typical if you've seen a tablet before from Samsung. You got your Create Note, View All Notes, Smart Select. With Smart Select, what you do is, let's see, you can cut pieces of the screen in various shapes, and you can also create a GIF by recording portions of the screen and maybe even something that your camera caught. That's only one example. You also have screen write, which is take a screenshot. This is ideal for maps. So you take a screenshot and you write on it. Imagine this being a map. You circle something and put an arrow here and say train station. That's only one of the examples. Okay, and then you have the live messages, which means you can animate messages. You got your AR doodle, which I showed you in the unboxing, and it's rather sluggish considering the CPU of the device. It goes like this. Find my face, and then I can draw eyes, ears, glasses, and they will move with me. There are a lot of effects to apply here, a lot of colors and cute bubbly pink stuff, and also tips which will amplify your video experience. This is useful mostly for kids, but maybe you want to create a cool vlog. Okay, but the core of the experience remains drawing and writing. You also have the pen up community, and you have other options to add here. You got your coloring, write on a calendar, glance, Bixby Vision, and translate. Once again, the core remains create a note. Once you start create a note, you take into this window here, and I'm going to switch to this view, and I'm going to expand the screen. So there are two ways you can go here. So you can write something like, hi mom, I'm on TV. Okay, so you can write this and have it saved to your set of notes, and then you can definitely open it up and interact with it. Or you can draw if you want to. This is one of the drawings, of course not my best one, definitely not my best one. Hi mom, I'm on TV, and let's see what you can do here. So aside from this, of course you can write using the virtual keyboard, which by the way is pretty well spaced. And let's go back for a bit to see the options for the pen tip. Okay, so here we have the drawing section, and these are the options I was looking for. These are the pen tips which you can select. Larger ones, smaller ones, finer ones, of course a color palette, which you can definitely pick from here. And there should be even more options. Okay, you can also erase everything, and you can convert stuff to text. Hi mom on TL. I just deleted something from it, but it got the idea. So you can convert stuff to text, keep that in mind, and you can create a series of favorite pens to easily access them on the go. And once again, you can draw anything your heart desires. I mean everything. You can really be a free spirit about that. And definitely choose a better and brighter color than me. Okay, so you get the gist of it. I would say it's very hard to compare with the Apple Pencil. It's more grippy. I like the grip more than the Apple Pencil. That's something to remember. I'm frankly more fond of it than of the small S Pen from the Galaxy Note series. So that's about it. I hope I covered everything. There's a lot more things you can do here, but things you've seen before. Nothing truly new. And when you're done, you attach the pen like that magnetically, and voila. Okay, pre-installed apps. So you got your Galaxy Store here to get apps. You got your SmartThings to control. Where's SmartThings? So here it is. This is SmartThings. You can control your TV set-top box, or smart devices around the house, your security camera, Microsoft Office, OneDrive, and Outlook. There is the Google Suite here. There is the phone, message, and also there is YouTube Music, Spotify, and Netflix pre-installed. So you got everything you want on this device. Okay, back to it, and back to Tablet-News.com. This has been the end of the review. It's time for the pros and cons. Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite is a bit of a bummer. That's something to remember here. I mean, the pros are obviously the stylus and also the features of the stylus: drawing, writing, highlighting, writing on a calendar. Okay, the tablet is comfy and well built. It has a good battery and very good stereo speakers, which are pretty loud. There is the audio jack as a plus, and also the UI, which I frankly am a fan of. Those are the pros. Now, if you want cons, the TFT screen is not bright and may have some problems outdoors. There's some lag every now and then. The benchmarks are below the Galaxy Tab S5e, so that may be a more solid option if you're aiming for performance. The charging is on the long side. The price tag is rather big. There's no fingerprint scanner. There's no keyboard accessory for it, and the DeX mode has been removed. So you may be better off buying the last year iPad, the iPad 7, the 10.2-inch one, which also supports the Apple Pencil. Sold separately though, this one is bundled in the price. You're going to buy this tablet for the following exact reasons. So let me tell you this: audio, stylus, and the comfort of the design. Those are the selling points. The screen is a bit of a bummer, as is the performance, and the fact that you can have lag every once in a while is not acceptable in 2020. Apple would not let this slip. So that's it from us. If you want this tablet, you may want it for the stylus alone. If you don't need a stylus, you may not need this tablet. I, for one, would choose the Galaxy Tab S5e, but I'm all about that Netflix and gaming. If you're about the stylus and want Android, this is definitely a more budget option, unless you can find something from Huawei. So this is it from us. Hope you enjoyed the review. We'll be back with more soon, including that Huawei MatePad Pro review. Bye bye.